Hello everyone. Today I am here with my new video lecture on demand analysis. That is the second part of elasticity of demand, and this is my lecture number 6. So before going into the depth of today's lecture, I'd like to request all my dear students to please go through my previous lecture also, so that you can get a better understanding of my today's lecture. And at the same time, I'd like to request all my viewers to please subscribe to my channel and also share and like my videos so that everyone can get the benefit of my efforts. Right. So today's lecture, that is lecture number 6, is just an extension of my previous lecture, that is elasticity of demand. Alright, so elasticity of demand. So before going into the depth of today's lecture, I'd like to give you a brief illustration of what is elasticity of demand and what we talked in the previous lecture. Alright, so I guess all the students have already learned about elasticity of demand, and all of you have gone through my previous lecture also. So basically, what is elasticity of demand and who put forwarded it? First of all, you need to know that who put forwarded it. It was first put forwarded by the famous economist Alfred Marshall. Alright, he put forwarded the concept of elasticity of demand. Why put forwarded it? Because he felt that law of demand just give a brief illustration of the relationship between quantity demanded of a product and price of a product. But by the law of demand, we cannot measure the magnitude of change in quantity demanded due to change in the other factor, that is price. Alright, so to measure the change in or the effect of change in the factors of demand on quantity demanded, he tried to quantify it. He tried to measure it in terms of numbers, and therefore he introduced the concept of elasticity of demand. Alright, so this is all about elasticity of demand. Again, in the previous lecture, we have already learned that there are mainly 3 categories of elasticity of demand, right? First thing is, what are the 3 categories, students? First is price elasticity of demand. Is it? Which is also known as elasticity of demand, because price is the most important component of quantity demanded of a product, or one of the most important factors determining demand. Second thing is cross elasticity of demand, which is based on the prices of related products, related commodities, that is substitute commodities and complementary commodities, right? Substitute goods and complementary goods. And third thing is income elasticity of demand, which is based on the income of the consumer. So basically, elasticity of demand is introduced to quantify the effect of the change in the factors affecting demand on quantity demanded. Alright, that's what we are trying to analyze under elasticity of demand concept. Now, why we consider there are various factors, right? There are various factors affecting elasticity of demand. Near about, I think 7 and 8 factors, 7 to 8 factors are there which is affecting demand term, right? But thing is that only 3 factors are considered here. The reason is that only 3 factors are quantifiable. And on the basis of these quantifiable characteristics of the factors determining demand, we or Alfred Marshall put forward these 3 things, 3 types of elasticity of demand. Alright, so first is price elasticity of demand, second is income elasticity of demand, and third is cross elasticity of demand. So today's lecture is completely based on price elasticity of demand. In my previous lecture only, I have already explained about what is price elasticity of demand, right? So price elasticity of demand basically measures the percentage change in quantity demanded with respect to percentage change in the price level, right? That's what we try to measure under elasticity, price elasticity of demand. And this concept, this elasticity of demand, price elasticity of demand can be measured under two methods. First is percentage method and second is geometric method. So let's proceed to the next slide. Today we are going to discuss about the percentage method of finding out price elasticity of demand. So what is percentage method? The term percentage. See, this is an important factor for finding out the entire thing. This is the most important component which you need to consider. So percentage method states that if you go into a theoretical background, then percentage method states that elasticity of demand is nothing but the ratio of percentage change in quantity demanded to percentage change in the price level. So these two things you need to consider. Percentage change. See, percentage term is there in both the two things. This is the formula for calculating elasticity of demand, price elasticity of demand. Alright, so here in this case, see, percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in the price level. So percentage means whatever along with this change in quantity demanded, you need to multiply it by 100, right? We used to find out the percentage of anything by multiplying it by 100, right? So that's what we are going to do here also. Similarly, here in this case, percentage change in the price level. Along with this change in the price level, you have percentage term in both the two cases. Therefore, in the second step, see, here in this case, we are multiplying both the numerator and denominator by 100 because of this percentage term. Alright. After that, change in quantity demanded. See, here in this case, we are measuring quantity demanded in terms of Q. Alright. Q means quantity demanded. And delta represents change, means change in quantity demanded. Alright, change in quantity demanded multiplied by 100 divided by change in the price level. Change in the price level. Now you see, delta Q is change in quantity, right? Change in quantity divided by the initial Q. Before changing the price level, what is the quantity demanded? This term all total represents change in quantity demanded, which is multiplied by 100, that represents percentage. So delta Q by Q multiplied by 100 is percentage change in quantity demanded. Same thing is applicable in case of price also. Delta P by P multiplied by 100, which means this represents change in the price level divided by the initial price level. Okay, multiplied by 100, this 100 term is for percentage, and this is the change in the price level. So after this step, this 100 will be cancelled out, right? So leftover part will be delta Q by Q divided by delta P by P. This can also be written in this way, right? See, here in this case, delta Q by Q divided by delta P by P. It can be written in this way, right? Now in the second step, delta Q divided by Q multiplied by P divided by delta P. Is it? Now we are just changing the two things and it will become in this way, right? In place of Q, we are writing delta P, and in place of delta P, we are writing Q. Alright, so this is the most important formula which you need to remember. For calculation purpose, you need to remember all these things. Alright, is it clear till now? I guess it is clear. So let's proceed to the next slide. See, here I am explaining how the formula we have derived. See, percentage change in quantity demanded. Percentage change in quantity demanded is represented as change in quantity. Change in quantity is again Q1 minus Q, means price. Suppose the price has been changed. Initially the price is 10, suppose, per unit, and the price has been changed to 15, increased to 15. So this changed price will be P1 and the initial price will be P. And the difference is known as change in the price level, that is denoted by delta P. Similarly, in case of quantity also, due to the change in the price level at price 10, how much quantity demanded? It is suppose you used to consume 3 units. Alright, at price 10. Now when the price level has been increased from 10 to 15, then you need to reduce your quantity demanded, right? You need to reduce your demand. So now suppose you are consuming only 1 unit. So this initial amount of quantity is denoted by Q, and the later, after the price has been changed, after that whatever change has taken place, that is known as Q1, and the difference between Q1 and Q is represented as delta Q, which is the change in demand. Alright. When we put this in this formula, then we get percentage change in price. That's why we talked in the previous slide. Change in the price level, delta P, and original price means initial price level, that is P. So we just need to substitute the values. See, P represents initial price level, P1 is the new price level, again Q is the initial quantity, and Q1 is the new quantity demanded after the change in the price has been taken place. See, P and Q, these two are associated, and P1 and Q1, these two things are associated. So this is the formula for calculating price elasticity of demand. Now, some important facts. See, percentage method is the most common method of measuring elasticity of demand. And this is also known as, you need to remember these things, proportionate method, flux method, or mathematical method of measuring elasticity of demand, price elasticity of demand. So, percentage method, proportionate method, flux method, and mathematical method, all these 4 terms are associated or means the same thing. You need to remember it. Second thing is coefficient of price elasticity of demand, means whatever value we get, it will always be in negative sign. Alright, whatever value we obtain, that will always be in negative sign, and this happens because of the inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded, as we already studied in the previous lectures, that under law of demand, that there exists inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded of a product, right? When price increases, quantity demanded falls. So, due to this inverse relationship, there exists, or we always get the value of elasticity of demand as negative. And to remove this negative sign, we used to put minus sign in the formula for calculating elasticity of demand. As you can see in the previous slide, see here we are putting minus sign. Remember this? Don't forget to put minus sign in the exam, because this is the most important part of elasticity of demand. So we used to put minus sign along elasticity of demand formula to eliminate this negative sign which we used to obtain after calculation. So for eliminating that, we used to do it. And last thing is, price elasticity of demand is free from units of measurement. There is no such limitation of units of calculation of price elasticity of demand. Alright, so these are the most important factors of calculation of price elasticity of demand under percentage method. So that's all for today's class. Thank you. Watch my video, like it, share it and subscribe to my channel so that I get some encouragement.